Welcome to Chasing Winners. Peter O'Neill, David Short and Jesse Erenshaw are about to join you to preview the meeting from Mandurah in the Peel tonight. They will also look in depth at the meeting from Cannington tomorrow night. The boys will also be joined by Ryan Levitsky, who will provide his best over the 2 nights of chasing. Let the chase begin.
And a very good morning, everyone. Welcome along to Chasing Winners. It's David Short still on leave, but we'll go through his best on the program tonight in Cannington as well a little bit later in the card. As we say, very good morning to Jesse Erenshaw. How are you, Jesse?
Fantastic, Pete. Yourself? It's always great to be back here with you.
It's always good to be coming in on a Friday morning after WA again dominate on the East Coast, and we saw that last night. Well done to Cody Charles heading across to the eastern states, talking about the Queensland Carnival, and Daddy's Girl was successful in the Group 2.
Yeah, it caught me off guard. I didn't realise the dog was actually over there. I thought it was just Sage Tenil, but great to see a WA victory, and more importantly as well, a WA sire in Tommy Shelby. I believe he also had another group winner as well.
Won the Derby.
Yes.
So they won the Futurity and the Derby.
Both age-restricted classics for the Tommy Shelby progeny. Just shows you how good he's going at the moment now, Pete.
Going very, very well indeed. And unfortunately, Sage Tenil didn't have a lot of luck at all. But hopefully she'll get through to the Golden Ticket series next week. So that carnival continues. And, of course, tonight at Mandurah, we have the Birthday Cup heats. And while we've always got good quality sprinters, and Crumble Manelli won this race last year, Bones McCoy, Blackpool Flash prior to that, and you go back through the list of greyhounds that have won this race, and they've always been very, very good. These heats tonight are outstanding. Oh,
it's always one of my favourite series, the Birthday Cup. I think it's severely underrated for the quality of greyhounds you get each year, and there's obviously some new faces coming across over east having their first up runs at Mandurah, which is always going to be interesting, factoring a new track, so it'd be great to see how they go, and it's going to be set up for some great heats, six of the best heats so far, Pete.
All right, well, let's go through your thoughts. We start off with a 400-metre race. This is a novice over the 400-metre sprint journey that the Birthday Cup will be run over, and it's an interesting market with Miss Vivas at 350 and West on Bambi at 340. Which way are you going in the first?
I've gone 4, 7, 3 and 5. Number 4, West on Bambi on top. Forget the run last week from a wide draw. Put up some really good efforts, 2 back over the 488 behind Nangar Bubbles and behind Cubit Manelli, 3 back in 27.20. Repeat of those performance over the sprint trip should see her pretty hard to beat. We know she's quick out early. She's gone 22.30 in the past. I think she's going to be awfully hard to beat. She's run into some talented types. This is her race to lose. For second, 7 Tick 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 was a massive run, 2 back over this trip. Didn't quite go to plan over the 488 last start. For third, 3 Miss Vivas, and for fourth, I'll throw in 5 Sunset Pacquiao, who's the last start winner in a novice company. 4, 7, 3 and 5 race 1.
I've gone the other way. I've gone with number 3 Miss Vivas. So I thought that she'd be able to hold out West on Bambi going on her early splits. Looks like she should be able to hold her out, and if she does so, then she'll be very, very hard to get over. She won from an inside draw when she led, and then she showed speed behind West on Willow and Sunset Bubbles. So I'm putting her on top, number 3. I know she's only won 1 of 11, but 1 on top from number 4 West on Bambi. A greyhound, as you mentioned, has got some quick times over the 400, and she went 27.31, 27.29 over the 488 metres recently, finishing second behind Cubit Manelli's pretty good form line. For third, number 1 All Grunt, and at number 5 Sunset Pacquiao, 3, 4, 1 and 5 in race number 1. Race number 2 on the program, 50 years of greyhound racing in 2024. Started racing at Cannington back in December 1974, so a big year of celebrations this year. And race number 2 is the 50 years of racing David Hobby, and he has one of the fancies in this race who I think will be going close, and that is the favourite Pudding Manelli, currently at $2.60. I can't believe that we're betting $2.60 about Pudding Manelli. You might have the argument that the distance is a little bit short for him over the 400. The big track at Mandurah, I think, suits him. He's second up from a spell. He was in a free-for-all last week behind Go See Katoni when he met early trouble. He started one of the favourites in that race on that occasion. Prior to that, he'd been racing in free-for-all company up in town behind Obstropolis. King Tommy had a few months on the sidelines, class runner, and then David positions him really well in a mixed 4-5 country assessed race. I think he's a special. I can't believe we're getting $2.60. Number 3 for second, Notorious Harada, a greyhound who's been racing in this class recently. For third, number 5, Refer to Trader, and 7, Calico Joe, 6-3-5-7.
I'll go 1-6-5-8. I'll go with Bang on top from a good draw. He has had the 6 starts from the Red Box, 1 on 1 occasion, been placed on 4. Right down in class, been racing against mixed 3-4 and 4-5 companies back to country class level. I think he should put in a big performance from box number 1. For second, 6, Pudding Manelli. To be honest, Pete, I was very disappointed with the run. He's finished 4th of 4 in a free-for-all. He copped a couple of checks, but you think 250 he'd be making some ground on those other runners.
You've got checks on numerous occasions. You've got the check out of the start, check on the first corner, check going off the back. I know there's only 4, but that's a fallacy, that we say, small fields, you don't have any interference.
I just want to see him do it in a race since he's come back from his little spell. So I'll put him in for second, keep him safe. For third, 5, Refer to Trader, who's run some nice times at Northam. And for fourth, I'll throw in 8, Rio Tokyo, first up for Cosy D'Agostino at Mandurah. And some decent times there at Cannington over the 380 metres, and was a nice winner at Terralgan a couple of starts ago. 1, 6, 5 and 8, race 2.
All right, let's go to race number 3 on the program. This is over the 652 metres. The favourite is with number 7, If You Say, at 350.
I've gone 5, 7, 4, 1. 5, Papa Mono on top. Recent form's been a little bit disappointing, but you go back to that second behind Sin Bin Sammy when he broke the track record on that occasion, and he ran 37.39, which so far is a competitive time at this trip. Papa Mono hasn't won for 18 starts, though we've seen him put in some solid efforts against some talented types, Crypto Manelli, Weston Nugget, and Solidify in the past. I think he can improve here in a pretty weak field. For second, 7, If You Say. Greyhound is racing really well over this trip. Was a nice second behind Agent 11 when dropping back to the 488. For third, number 4, Stephen Manelli. Greyhound is going to really relish the extra distance. And for fourth, I'll throw in 1, Dandel Up Dollar, 5, 7, 4 and 1, race 3.
I think you've missed the winner out of your top 4, currently at $4.60. Jamie Keeping, good record from wide draws, was a winner over the 600 metres from a wide draw going back 2 starts ago. Had no luck at all last start behind Honestly 2. And as you mentioned, I don't think there's a lot of strength in this race. Did go 27.42 over the 488 going back 5 runs ago. I like her chances. I like the fact that she's got a good record from the pink. So 8 on top, 7, If You Say for second, a greyhound who did win 3 starts back. Number 5, Papa Mono, as you mentioned. He's a class runner, but just out of form at the moment. And number 4, Stevie Manelli, 8, 7, 5, 4, race number 3. Race number 4, the opening heat of the Birthday Cup. And as you'd expect in the opening heat, we see the undefeated on this new track, Crumble Manelli, go around as the favourite, currently quoted at $1.75. He won the Birthday Cup last year before he went on a rampage, which included the derbies, both the Mandurah and Cannington derbies, and then, of course, the Sandgroper as well. And he looks very, very hard to beat. Obviously, you don't have to be Einstein to be picking him on top. $1.75 in from $2. The smart punters got on early. Number 5, Uncle Tommy, very talented chaser, unfortunately comes up against a greyhound that has gone less under the 22-second barrier. For third, number 8, Nangar Bubbles, who's well drawn, and number 7, Our Benson. 6, 5, 8 and 7. Cody Charles is still be on a high after last night at least. 6, 5, 8, 7 in race number 4.
I'll go 6, 1, 5 and 8 with 6, Crumble Manelli on top. Obviously hard to go against the greyhounds when he's passed 3, and 2 of those times he's broken 22. He should just be winning this. For second, 1, Barrier Beast. I know you're not a big fan of him, Pete, but I think he can run a really cheeky race from box number 1. He's had some horror draws of late, comes into the red. Last time he had box number 1 in this open sort of grade company, he ran third behind All Over Cardra at a quick 22.3. So I think he'll run second to Crumble tonight. For third, number 5, Uncle Tommy. And for fourth, I'll throw in 8, Nangar Bubbles from the wide draw. 6, 1, 5 and 8, race 4.
Not that I'm not a fan, I just don't think this race is in his class range when you have Crumble Manelli in this race. I think he'll go through the series undefeated, Crumble Manelli. I'm not sure if they've got a pre-post market up at the moment, but the way he's been dominating over the 400 metres against some class runners, I think he'll be very, very hard to beat again. Race number 5, second heat of the Birthday Cup, and the market here has Barbecue Man, 380 into 340, West on Boomer from 280 out to 330. I'm going with West on Boomer. I like the fact that he's undefeated in 2 starts over the distance. He had no luck over the 488 metres a couple of runs ago, that 27.45 last start over the 488 and 22, 26 and 23 from wide draws. I like his early speed. I think he jumps, runs, and he's the one to catch. So 4 on top. Number 3, Barbecue Man, obviously has been trialling well for Paul Stewart. We haven't seen him on the racetrack since August, and he's a very highly talented chaser. He's first up at Mandurah, but as I mentioned, Paul would have shown him the track on numerous occasions, and when there's money for a Paul Stewart runner, normally they're pretty well on the mark. For third, I'll put in number 6, Little Bit Twisted, and 7, Launch Control, 4, 3, 6, 7.
I'll go 3, 4, 5, 8, 3, Barbecue Man on top. I think 340 is a really good price, not because he's a standout, but I think it's a good value to see where he's at in his career so far. He's coming off a little injury, and before then he's racing really competitively in free-for-all company, so there's no reason why you can't take this out from 4 West on Burma, who hasn't sort of been in open class company yet. That heat that he was fourth in was, I think, the Dawesville Cup heat, which is at mixed 4-5 level. So this is a massive step up in class for West on Burma, who's a really young, talented chaser. For third, 5, Nangar Chief, who's run some nice times at Cannington, who's been freshened up for this series. And for fourth, I'll throw in 8, Rex Hunter from the wide draw, a speedster, but he does find 400 metres right on his limit. 3, 4, 5 and 8, race 5.
And the good thing about tonight, with the quality of these heats, you're getting value. So if you do like one, you can have a go and get some good prices about them, as we see in the next Sand Patch. $6.50, the original price from Tab Touch, into $3.20. Hinto, $2.80 out to $3.30, and West on Burnie, $3.40 out to $3.80. Which way are you seeing the second leg of the quaddie, the third heat of the Birthday Cup?
I'll go 7, 8, 5 and 1. 7, Sand Patch on top. This greyhound ran second to Crumble Manelli in 22.09. You'd probably win 90% of your races running those sorts of times. I think she's in a league of her own here. She's got the early pace to cross Hinto, which is probably the main danger. For second, number 8, West on Burnie, greyhound who does love a wide draw. We know how proven he is. He's a Group 2 winner in the past. For third, 5, Hinto. I just think the draw's a little bit sticky. He's not electric out early. And for fourth, I'll throw in 1, Robotnik from a good draw there. 7, 8, 5 and 1, race 6.
Big call being in a league of her own when she's up against a couple of Group 2 winners in West on Burnie and Hinto. I'm going West on Burnie. I love the fact that he's drawn out wide. He has that speed underneath him. He gets plenty of galloping room into that first corner. He'll be high flying, and he's got a very good record from wide draws. So 8, West on Burnie on top. Number 5, Hinto. Really smart win last start in free-for-all company up in town. I like the fact that he drops back to this distance. He'll be strong at the end. He just needs to get clear running. Number 6, Lentil Manelli's been chasing well up in town as well. And 7, Sand Patch. I disagree with you. I think this is a class rise for her. So 8, 5, 6 and 7 in race number 6. Race number 7, the fourth heat of the Birthday Cup. And here we see Cubit Manelli from $1.45 into $1.36. There's going to be an announcement coming out on Monday in regards to Tab Touch's runner for the running of the Quokka. So it'll be interesting. Make sure you're tuned into Tab Radio 7 on Monday morning, and I'm sure there'll be discussions, if there haven't already been discussions, with the connections of Cubit Manelli, Mike and Michelle Quincy for the Sandgroper, which is only, 2 or 3 months away.
Yeah, it's interesting to see who they go with another interstate chase. We saw they went with, was it She's a Pearl last start, who unfortunately couldn't make it across, but they had to back up with Couchsurfer, who was dropping back over the 7:15, ran third in a Galaxy. So hopefully they don't get caught out like last time, Tab Touch, but it'll be interesting to see whether they do go with a local chaser this time.
I don't know whether they got caught out. The fact that Couchsurfer got interfered with going into the first corner, as some greyhounds can do.
But it wasn't their first selection, obviously, though, Pete.
Beat home well, she's fast, so... Yes, it wasn't the first selection. Yes, I agree.
Okay, so 2, 1, 3 and 8 in race number 7 with 2, Cubit Manelli on top. I think the quote's pretty crammed up there. I probably wouldn't be taking that about a greyhound who can do some things wrong. We've seen in the past in that Dawesville Cup final behind Nangar Bubbles. He got into all sorts of trouble. He's not electric out early. He's a really good musterer, though, and he has broken 22. So you've got to put him on top. From one inside scoop, greyhound has been running really well in free-for-all company. Took out a final a couple of weeks ago. I think that was the Anniversary Cup there at Cannington. For third, number 3, Bronte Blazer, and for fourth, I'll throw in 8, Danny Heffernan. 2, 1, 3 and 8, race 7.
I think he's a special, but $1.36 is a special price. Slow beginners on his inside and outside. I think he gets plenty of galloping room, and those 21.94 times he won't be caught. So 2 on top, Cubit Manelli from number 1 inside scoop, 3 Bronte Blazer, and 8 Danny Heffernan. 2, 1, 3, 8 in race 7. And you have gone? 2,
2, 1, 3 and 8.
2, 1, 3 and 8, exactly the same way in race number 7. To the fifth heat of the Birthday Cup. And here in race number 8, we see the favourite Renegade Kachis at $1.70. Another greyhound who's been flying, undefeated in 5 starts at Mandurah, and the greyhound has gone 22-16. I'm going to put him on top for Cosy D'Agostino to continue on his winning way. He has that early speed to be able to get across, slow beginner on his inside, and I'm not sure whether Waffles Manelli has the speed to be able to go with him early. So 6 on top. Number 4, Raw Ability is an interesting greyhound from the eastern states. I think this is a step up in class for him, but they don't normally send them across to Shane Williams unless they're set for a series. So
Raw Quality, Pete. Raw Ability was a very good chaser. He's at stud
raw
now.
Quality. Yeah, Raw Quality, so Raw Quality. For third, I'll put in number 3, Tweak Freak, who's been chasing well, knocking on the door for Andrew McLaren and Brody Kirby. And number 1, Go Seek Katoni at start number 50, 6, 4, 3, 1.
I'll go 6, 1, 8 and 2, 6 Renegade Kachis on top. He's won his last 5 at Mandurah. The only knock that you could possibly say is he hasn't done it in an open class company. They've all been in restricted P4, 5 and Y4, 5 races. So interesting to see how he goes in open class company just off his section, which should be very hard to beat. He should be leading on his ear here. For second, number 1, Go Seek Katoni, took out that free-for-all over the 488 last week. For third, number 8, Carla Cadup, who's got that good city class form. And for fourth, I'll throw in 2 in Kenya Refine, 6, 1, 8 and 2, race 8.
Now we've got the scratchings through from Carlo Sorella from the grading department. The reserves are out of races 1, 2, 4, 5 and 6. The reserves out of the first 6 races. Race 7, scratch 7 Halcyon Days and 9 Extreme Rock, 7 and 9 out of race 7. Reserves out of race 8 and 9, and go down to race 11, scratch 2 Sparks Flying is out. Race 11, number 2, a scratching there. All right, let's continue on. We go to race number 9, the final chance to qualify for the Group 2 Birthday Cup final next week, and the favourite All Over Carja at $2.50.
That's the way I'm going, All Over Carja on top. He's run into Crumble Manelli his last 3, so he's been pretty stiff. Before then, had a mortgage on these free-for-alls at Mandurah, winning in 22-14, 6 back, and I think he's going to go awfully close here. For second, number 1, Kenya Crack, and a greyhound coming back from a little bit of a spell for Paul Stewart. We know how talented he is in the past. He's electric out early. For third, number 8, Kenya Mia, and for fourth, I'll throw in 5, Escapeway. 7, 1, 8 and 5, race number 9. 7, 1, 8 and 5. I'm going very similar. 7, 1, 8 and 2, All Over Carja on top. Greyhound, as you mentioned, chasing very well behind the likes of Crumble Manelli and a greyhound who has a good strike rate from wide draws. Number 1 for second, Kenya Kraken, hasn't been seen since September, but a very, very talented chaser up in town. For third, number 8 in Kenya Mia, and I'll put in number 2 in Sunset Cobra, who might be able to improve here, now in the care of Kane Buckwell. Doing well if it can improve. 7, 1, 8 and 2 in race number 9. Let's go to race number 10. Sneaky Emoji is the favourite here at $1.90 in from $2. And does look very, very hard to beat from an inside draw. Gets that for the first time in his career. Has been placed at his last 2. One of those down at Mandurah from a wide draw behind Minyong. I thought was a good run considering he found trouble. Number 5, West on Gecko. A greyhound who hasn't had a lot of luck but did go that 27.33 from a wide draw behind Mayaniki Boy 3 starts back. Number 2, Power of Molly's been knocking on the door. And 7, Stanger Fire, 1527. I'll go 157 and 2. Number 1, Sneaky Emoji on top. Ground has gone as quick as 22.16 in the past from an inside draw. Last week, he was good behind Sunset Tyson in that Claude Power final on Sunday. I think you can go one better here. For second, 5, West on Gecko, a really noted wide runner. Loves the Mandurah circuit. It's been really taken to it. It was a good run last week behind Bungee Man at Cannington when he found a bit of trouble early. For third, number 7 in Stanger Fire. And for fourth, I'll throw in 2, Power of Molly. 157 and 2, race 10.
Race number 11, the scratching of Sparks Flying. So a small field here, and Token Manelli was $1.45 favourite, although Sparks Flying was the second favourite at $4.60. So Token Manelli, you would think, would shorten further and has won 5 of 7.
Yeah, it was a little bit unlucky last week. He got cleaned up out of the boxes. I think he can go one better here. Great start to his career. He's obviously a little brother to Cubit Manelli, so They've obviously inherited a fair bit of pace this lit up. I've got them on top from number 1, Sozins Azuri. Greyhound is dropping right back down in class here. I think he can improve. I think he should run second here. For third, number 8, Impress Rock. She's run some nice races of late for Ernie Aldrich. And for fourth, I'll throw in 4, Our Aim. 5, 1, 8 and 4, race 11.
I'm going 5, 8, 7 and 1. Number 5 on top, Token Manelli obviously picks himself. He's been chasing so well in this sort of company. Number 8, Impress Rocks. Good winner last start, but has to overcome box number 8. In saying that, he has won a couple of times from a wide draw. Number 7, Extreme Rock. And 1, Sozins Azuri. 5, 8, 7, 1 in race number 11. And to the last on the program, race number 12, the market here has Brain Teaser, the $2.60 favourite, and I'm putting her on top. She was a smart winner last start from a wide draw. Comes in at box number 1. I know she hasn't won from this draw, but she's only had the one opportunity. Has that early speed, and I don't think Black Salmon has the speed to be able to go with her early. So I'm putting number 1 on top from number 5 in distribution. Greyhound is now in the care of Callum Robson. 1, 2 starts ago up at Cannington. For third, number 7, Solid Tank. And 4, My Dad's Augie, 1, 5, 7 and 4.
I'll go 7, 5, 1 and 2. 7, Solid Tank on top. Shorty always says this. If they break 16 at Cannington, make sure you keep following. 2 runs ago, ran a really good 22.46 behind our Benson, who's a talented chaser in his own right. Not a great beginner, but he's got a big motor. I think he can provide a decent value there in that race. For second, number 5, Distribution. For third, number 1 in Brain Teaser. And for fourth, 2, Black Salmon. 7, 5, 1 and 2, race 12.
7, 1, 5 and 2 for Jesse in the last. Now, just before we get your best and also a quaddie, the best bets for David Short tonight. Race 4, number 6, Crumble Manelli. Race 9, number 7, All Over Cardia. Race 11, number 5, Token Manelli. So they're the best for Shorty. Race 4, number 6. Race 9, number 7. Race 11, number 5. And tomorrow night at Cannington, Shorty likes race 5, number 1, Honestly 2. Race 7, number 8, My Anarchy Boy. And race 11, number 6, Speedy Willow. He has a Quinella in that race, 4 and 6 for the Quinella at Cannington. Race 5, number 1, race 7, number 8, race 11, number 6. Let's go to Ryan Levitsky with his thoughts on tonight's program. He would be up and about with what is an outstanding night of birthday cup heats. Ryan, good morning.
Good morning, Pete. Yeah, this is an absolute ripper of a program.
Really looking forward to it. Crumble Manelli was successful last year and he's dominated, hasn't he, over this short course trip at the new track?
Yeah, and I think you'll be getting it done tonight from box 6. All of my 3 best bets are wearing green tonight. Race 2, number 6, Pudding Manelli. I just think it's going to be far too good, basically. Pudding Manelli, 260. I think it's a great price. Race 3, number 6, Speed Freak. I think it's going to find the lead at $4 and be very hard to beat. And race 4, number 6, Crumble Manelli, $1.75. I think it's over the odds. I know Uncle Tommy and our Benson are up and comers, but Crumble Manelli is machine-like over 400.
I agree with you. Have you done a quaddie for tonight?
No, I haven't. I haven't done a quaddie.
Okay, let's turn our attention across to tomorrow night then at Cannington. Your best?
Race 2, number 1, Apple Crumble. I think the box is huge for this greyhound. Race 10, number 4, Storm Alert. And race 11, number 4, Obsessed Much. Quaddie at Cannington. First leg, 1, 3, 8. Second leg, 4, 5, 7. Third leg, 7 and 8. Fourth leg, 5, 6, 7, 8.
5, 6, 7 and 8. Okay, anything on Sunday, Monday or Tuesday?
There's a moral on Sunday, Pete. Race 13, number 2, Wolfman. Just wins. Race 13, number 2.
Okay, moral. Race 13, number 2, the Wolfman. Good calling there tonight. Looking forward to your coverage from Mandurah.
Thanks, Pete.
Ryan Levitsky there, and he is confident about the green rugs tonight. Okay, Jesse, your best and also a quaddie, please.
Race 1, number 4, Western Bambi, I think should be winning. Race 3, number 5, Papa Mono, will give him another chance. And race 12, number 7, Solid Tank.
Okay,
For a quaddie, we'll go 3, 4, 5 the first leg, stand out 7 in the second leg, 1, 2, 4 in the third leg, and we'll stand out 6 in the final leg there, Pete.
Okay, my quaddie tonight at Mandurah. I'm going 3 and 4 in the first leg, Barbecue Man, West on Boomer. Second leg, we're going with 5, 6 and 7, Hinto, Lentil Manelli, Sandpatch, West on Booney. In race 7, standout number 2, Cupid Manelli. And race number 8, standout number 6 in Renegade Cachise. thoughts for the program tonight at Mandurah. Let's turn our attention across to chasing tomorrow night at Cannington. Very good program at Cannington tomorrow night. And the first race of 12 gets underway at 7 o'clock. We start off with a couple of maidens. The first one over the 380 metres. Charlie's Harley is an early scratching and no market up just yet with Tab Touch. Which way are you going in the first?
I'll go 3, 1, 2 and 8. 3 wise. How we go with that? Cognac there? Cognac in box number 3. There was a good qualifying trial. Second behind Wise Abalone. Think can go one better. Not quick early. It must be noted in the qualifying trial. Might need to improve on box manners, but I think she should get the job done. From number 1, Neon Leon, who was a good run behind Defiant Pam in a qualifying trial at Mandurah. Had no luck on debut at Cannington. Was pretty well supported in the market. For third, number 2, Wings of Hope. And for fourth, I'll throw in 8, Miss Mundine. 3, 1, 2 and 8, race number 1.
What do you think of Adonis Creed? You haven't tipped him in the top 4, so you obviously don't have a high opinion, but he has been showing speed, and he did go 22.19, the qualifying trial, back in October.
He's a very hit-and-miss sort of dog. If he finds the lead, he's not going to be overly strong, Pete. He does find the 380 right in his limits, and last week he was a reserve, so he hasn't had a run for 2 weeks because, as you know, as a reserve, you can't really trial them because just in case they do get a start. So he's going to be severely underdone. If he does lead, he's really going to find the back end of the 380. He's going to struggle with it.
All right. He's got one thing in his favour, and that's the trainer, Terry Erenshaw, and I'm tipping your father to Quinella the race. So 2 on top, Wings of Hope, a greyhound who had been trialling well before the maiden run, when had no luck at all when being galloped on. I thought the second up run behind Q Calm was a really good effort, and then Forget the next start from box number 1. Just needs that galloping room early, and I'm putting her on top. So number 2 on top. From number 4, Adonis Creed, that early trial win, I understand what you're saying, that he hasn't raced for a couple of weeks. I'll put him in for second on Trust. Number 7, Can't Catch Katie. And number 3 in Wise Kunak, 2, 4, 7 and 3. Race number 1 on the program. Kunak's like a small crayfish, but from fresh water.
Okay, so Wise Abalone, obviously the little mate. Yep.
Yeah. Race number 2, the 50 years of racing, the Gary Weston over the 520 metres, and Apple Crumble comes up with box number 1, $2.30 into $2.05, back out to $2.20, and I'm tipping him on top. I'll go first. I think he's going to be very, very hard to beat. I called the race again last week, 6-dog field, and if you have a look at the first 2 metres, he smashes into the 4, smashes into the 7, back to the 4, back to the 7 again. And that puts him out of contention. But I thought he chased really well, considering he's had a couple of hits in running. He got severely checked the week before, box number 1. Well, you know he's not going to get hit from the inside. So as long as Night Fright doesn't go left, we're going to be some sort of chance. And I think we'll see how quick he can actually go. So Apple Crumble on top. 7, Security Guard was a good effort last start, considering he got an early check and he had been trialling well prior to that for Corey White. Number 6, Kryptonite, another one from the Corey White kennel, who ran second behind Yonder Up Moon last start, was only beaten ahead, so could be out of maiden status already. And number 3, Casper's Pass, a greyhound who also back in the middle of December ran a really nice second on debut behind Go Get 'em Greta, wasn't beaten that far, and that was in a heat series. 1, 7, 6 and 3, race number 2.
I'll go 1, 3, 8, 6, 1, Apple Crumble on top. He was very unlucky his last 2, Pete. So hopefully for connections like yourself, he goes really well on Saturday and just jumps to the front. Be awfully hard to catch. For second, number 3, Casper's Pass. Put up some good sectionals in his qualifying trial and his first race start. Had no luck last week in a maiden fighter behind Dandela Popel, who is a talented chaser in her own right. For third, number 8, Nice Wicket. And for fourth, I'll throw in 6, Kryptonite. 1, 3, 8 and 6, race number 2.
The bookmakers have Tab Touch has Hard Maintenance, the favourite here at $2.50. Is that the right price about your father's greyhound?
I think it's a little bit trim, only because we've got a greyhound in Wise Barrow who took out that maiden last week that your greyhound was involved in and carved across. 5:47 is an outstanding first sectional, went 18:55 off the back. I think she should be leading here. It's up to Hard Maintenance to run her down. I've got Maxwell Smart for second, a greyhound who's run some placings from pretty ordinary boxes of late. He's just got to find a run, and he's She's running into all sorts of trouble. With Clear Room, I think Maxwell Smart's a different dog. For third, number 1, Hard Maintenance, gets a good draw, but last week was a little bit disappointing behind Ghost Emoji when beaten 8.5 lengths. And for fourth, I should say, I'll throw in 7, Sunset Lasso. Another talented chaser has broken 30 seconds in the past for David Hobby. 8, 6, 1 and 7, race number 3.
Yeah, she was close to the inside Wise Barra last week when she went that 5.47. I'd be surprised if she goes that again, and she could surprise me, which wouldn't be hard to do. But I'm going to tip that she can't go that and goes the 5.60, 5.55 mark that she'd been showing in qualifying trials in small field. So she gets a full field tomorrow night, and I think therefore Sunset Lasso is the greyhound that will get across and be able to find the top. So I'm going 7 on top, Sunset Lasso. I think she's got a fair bit of ability. For second, I'll put in number 5, Shy Emoji, who's been knocking on the door and drops back from the 600, which I think will suit her. Number 1, Hard Maintenance, well drawn, and 2, Night Moon, 7, 5, 1 and 2 in race number 3. Race number 4 on the program, and this is over the 715 metres, Flying Frida currently at $2.70. Don't think she can be any more impressive on debut over the distance when she defeated Disco Trixie, leading throughout. Has the early speed to be able to get across, and a greyhound who's won 5 of 8 from box number 8. I'm surprised we're getting 270.
I've gone 6, 8, 5, 1. I'm a notorious knocker of Flying Freda, to be honest, Pete, and I'll do that by my admission. I've gone Warm Regards on top. I thought it was a really nice run behind Couch Surfer. Nearly broke 42 seconds. We know the track was electric, but she really weaved her way through the field. She'll win soon enough over the 7:15 metre trip. For second, number 8, Flying Fred, I just think might be a little bit vulnerable late over the concluding stages, but you've got to catch her. She's running the hands off the clock of late. She was pretty stiff not to take out that summer chase heat last week behind Chloe Ant. For third, number 5, Disco Trixie, another one who's run some nice races over the 7:15. And for fourth, I'll throw in one, Sin Bin Sammy, who's the track record holder at Mandurah over the 6:52. 6, 8, 5 and 1 in race 4.
5 of her 10 wins have come from box number 8, Flying Frida. I think she's a special. I like her in this class of race. So 8 on top, Flying Frida. Good price as well. 6, Warm Regards. It was a good effort behind Couch Surfer last start because she did find a little bit of trouble. For third, I'll put in number 1, Sin Bin Sammy, and number 2 in Sunset Louis, 8, 6, 1 and 2 in race number 4 on the card. Race number 5, the Greyhounds WA Summer Chase Final, taken out last year by Adzuki Manelli and all zipped up the year before. Honestly, too, couldn't have done anything more on debut over the 600 metres, could she, last week? And she goes around at the moment at $2.45 in from $2.70, and she has a good record from inside draws.
Yeah, I've gone that way, 1, 6, 8 and 2, 1 Honestly 2 on top. She went 9.55 early, and I don't think I've ever seen a greyhound break 9.60 the first peg, so that's an outstanding section. Or you look through the field, they're all going about 9.80 or 9.70 for the first marker there, so she should be well and truly in front by 2 or 3 lengths. We know that she finds the 600 metres on a limit. Cam home at 11.95, which isn't overly strong, but she breaks her hearts through the middle stages. For second, number 6, Penny Magic, could get across for the nice draw there. It was a good run behind Hurricane Taylor last week after sitting second throughout the race. For third, 8, Hurricane Taylor, fastest qualified, but we don't like box out over 600 metres, Pete. That's always been a well-known.
Second fastest qualifier.
Oh, who was the fastest qualifier?
Honestly, too?
No, she wasn't.
Oh, okay, 74. Sorry, I'm reading the book wrong. 57. Yeah, you're right again. Sorry.
And for fourth, I'll throw in 2 Wooden Hands. So 1, 6, 8 and 2 in race 5, Pete.
57. 34.57 last week, Hurricane Taylor. Not sure whether he gets across, though, does he, from box number 8?
You'd think Honestly 2 should be off and gone. It's going to be a good pursuit, but I think Honestly 2, she's just a greyhound so quick to the middle stages that she tends to break their hearts.
It's interesting because of the fact, as you mentioned, wasn't strong, that 11.95 run home compared to Hurricane Taylor 11.59. If he does get across from a wide draw and settles in a clear second, it's going to make it an interesting race. And
I will say Penny Magic is a good beginner as well, so he really should bring Hurricane Taylor right into the race, but just box 8, Pete. It's such a terrible box over the 600 metres.
I'm going with Honestly 2, but I haven't got as much confidence now. I thought she was a special earlier in the week when I saw the field. Now that you've mentioned those run home times and also the fact that Hurricane Taylor was that quickest qualifier, I had her down as the quickest qualifier for some reason, not sure why. So Honestly 2 on top. Good record from the inside draws, hoping that she gets a bit stronger second up over the trip. Good trainer. 8, Hurricane Taylor for second. For third, I'll put in number 2, Wooden Hands. And 3, Dusty Deluxe, I think can improve as well with a bit of luck early. 1, 8, 2 and 3 in race number 5.
I will say this, Pete. How impressive is our depth over the 600 metres of late? I don't know where to put it at, but I think those 600-metre novices are really started to see some more greyhounds step up to the trip a little bit earlier in their careers and start to make a name for themselves over the middle distance.
Well, how good is that depth right the way through? Like, it's hard to win a maiden, as I'm finding out at the moment. Then when you get into a novice, it's almost impossible, the quality. And we saw that last night with a greyhound that goes across to the eastern states. Wouldn't be in our top echelon of bitches at that age here in WA, and dominates in Queensland.
We're talking about a greyhound whose last start in the state ran second at Mandurah in a Y5, going out winning a Group 2 race in Brisbane, Pete. It's a pretty impressive feat.
Maybe the conditions over there has really suited her, but we've said for a long time, the quality of WA greyhounds. The panel's getting together on Saturday night to talk about the WA Greyhound of the Year, and we've spoken about this over the last couple of weeks. There's going to be greyhounds that don't make it into the top 3. They would probably some years win the Greyhound of the Year.
Yeah, it's outstanding.
Yeah, really good year in 2023, and it started off 2024. The quality of our greyhounds is really strong depth at the moment. Let's go to race number 6 on the program, second leg of the quaddie over the 520 metres, and Bungee Man at $2.30, currently the favourite. A greyhound has been chasing very, very well. Did win from box number 3 in a good time last start when showing early speed. I'm actually going for a greyhound that's currently quoted a little bit shorter than I thought he would be, and that's Columbus Manelli. Free for All Company finished third behind Custard Manelli, and then Hinto last start. I just thought that this race was a little bit easier for him. Columbus Manelli, and a vacant box on his outside. Galloping Room has gone 29.74 at his best. I'm going 5 on top. 7, Bungee Man. You have to respect him the way he's going for Enzo Credelli at the moment. He's won 3 of his last 4. Number 4, Moment to Hustle, has also been racing very well. And number 1, Supercharged. Good record from inside draws, and a greyhound who was a nice second behind Jamie Keeping over the 600, 2 starts back, and then didn't have a lot of luck on the home corner when he needed it, behind No Limit Needed last week.
I thought this was a really good little race here, and we've got plenty of early speed in Ripon Tomahawk and Moment to Hustle, and I've gone 5, 7, 4, 8 with you, Pete. Columbus Manelli, I think he gets a beautiful card to the race with Moment to Hustle and Ripon Tomahawk. For second, number 7, Bungee Man. For third, number 4 in Moment to Hustle, I think will lead, but ties over the concluding stages. And fourth, number 8, to Spider Venom. He's run some nice races in the past in Free For All Company, and he's back down to the next 4-5 company, so it won't take him too long to win a race soon as well. So 5, 7, 4 and 8, going with a bit of value there with Columbus Manelli too.
All right, let's go to race number 7 on the program over the 520 metres. My Anarchy Boy, the favourite at $2. Seriously Lush, start number 50. Does she get anything special from Terry Erenshaw prior to going to the start tomorrow night?
I wouldn't have thought so, and last time
start
I said
50, you don't celebrate it?
No.
Milestones?
No, I'm not big into milestones like you, Pete, but I've gone 8, 7, 5 and 4. Last time I didn't tip Seriously Lush. She went out and won and ended a losing sequence of 20-odd races, so I might G her up, say that she can't win, so she might improve for that 50th start for your behalf, Pete. But 8, 7, 5 and 4, 8, My Nicky Boy on top. He's finished someplace his last 2, but before then put 4 in a row in good times at Cannington at Mandurah. He's broken the 27-second barrier at Mandurah. In fact, he was a track record holder for a little period of time. For second, number 7, Sunset Mirage, was a little bit disappointing last week when she got to the front. I thought she would stick on a bit better. For third, number 5 in Carter Axelrod, and for fourth, 4 Crypto Manelli, coming off that Sale Cup heat run at Sale in December. So interested to see how he comes back into the state. And I've gone 8 to 7, 5 and 4 in race 7.
I'm going with number 8, My Anarchy Boy, greyhound who's chasing very, very well. Yet to win from boxes 7 and 8. He's only had the 3 opportunities, mind you, but he's a very talented chaser that's run some really quick times. So I'm going him on top, number 8. From number 7, Sunset Mirage, I agree with what you're saying. I found the top, and there's a few of them that got sort of tangled up coming around the home corner. Number 4, Crypto Manelli, is a greyhound who certainly would impress dropping back from the 600 metres. I think can run a really cheeky race here. I wouldn't be surprised to see him him win a race like this. And 5 Carter Axelrod for Jay Jacobson, 8, 7, 4 and 5. Race number 7. To race number 8, the favourite here is with number 2, Ace in Kuna at $3. Greyhound has been placed at 2 of her last 3, and I'm putting her on top for Michael Johnson. His kennel's going very nicely at the moment. A greyhound who won going back 5 starts ago in 34.85, has won twice from 8 starts over the trip. 4 for second, Yamasaki Bao was impressive, winning on debut over this distance, 34.95, defeating Wooden Hands. It was a really nice run, just has to be able to get across from the draw. For third, number 7 in Miss Ronnie Mack, who was a nice winner in quick time down at Mandurah from a wide draw going back 3 starts ago. And 8, Harley Manelli, can certainly run a nice race as well. 2, 4, 7, 8.
This is a very interesting affair. I think it's quite even. I've gone 7, 8, 2 and 4. 7, Miss Ronnie Mack on top. I think she's got the lead to come and cross some of this field here. She's got 9.74 in the past over the trip. Decent effort at Mandurah, 3 back in 37.45. Before then was third at Mandurah, at Cannington in a heat over this trip, and fourth wasn't disgraced in a final behind Hurricane Taylor. For second, number 8, Harley Manelli, greyhound, who's got a decent record over the trip, 14 starts for 3 wins and 5 minors. For third, number 2, Ace in Kuna, who won that novice in quick time, 34.85. Just hasn't quite matched motors in graded company yet. For fourth, number 4, Yamasaki Bao, who was that quick winner, like you said, Pete, a couple of weeks ago. 7, 8, 2 and 4 in race 8.
Race number 9, the Tommy Shelby at start, and isn't he flying at the moment? Over $1 million in stake money for his runners last year. And also a greyhound who had those 2 feature winners at Albion Park last night. No market up just yet with Tab Touch. Which way are you going? I will
go 5, 3, 6, 8, 5. Midnight Kerner on top, coming off a nice win last week from box number 1. Went straight to the front. Was pretty hard to beat. For second, number 3, Ollie's Choice. Sub-22 winner last start in maiden company. Just like to see how they go first up in novice class company. Sometimes they do get found out against more competitive dogs. They don't sort of get their own way. For third, number 6, Kenya Tilly's run some nice races for Brodie Kirby. And for fourth, after an 8, Outlaw McGraw, who wasn't a bad run last week. Tipped him out at a bit of value there. Didn't disappoint behind Midnight Cooter. But 5, 3, 6 and 8, race 9.
I'm going Kenya Tilly on top for Brodie Kirby. A greyhound who was a nice winner going back 2 starts ago. That was back in early December. And a greyhound who's won 2 of 5 in her short career. I know she's drawn a little bit awkwardly with some speed around her, but I thought that she'd be able to get across here from box number 6, and as long as she can cross Midnight Kuna, will be hard to beat. Midnight Kuna I see as the main danger. Greyhound, who was a nice winner from an inside draw last start. For third, number 2, Essential Choice, and number 3, Ollie's Choice, who was a nice winner last start as well, and a good time after showing speed. 6, 5, 2 and 3. My only concern is whether she gets across from box number 6. To race number 10, and Homer's Odyssey is the early scratching here. A couple of vacant boxes as well. And Storm Alert, the favourite, at $1.50. A greyhound who's first up over the 600 metres, ran second behind Ghost Emoji last start, was beaten 4.5 lengths, and then going back 4 runs prior to that, ran third behind Imperial Sash. Doesn't have a lot of early speed, but in a race like this over the 600 metres where there's not a lot of speed in the race, I think you'll be up on top of the speed or camp right on it and will be too strong late. Number 7, Dandlup Opal, I'll put in for second. A greyhound who's been impressive, winning at her last 2, but she steps up to this distance for the first time. For third, number 1, Molfetta Drive, who has won over the trip. And number 8, Sky Manelli, 4, 7, 1, 8.
I'll go 4, 1, 7 and 8. 4, Storm Alert on top. It was a good run last week behind Ghost Emojis, behind some talented types like All About Stone and a little bit Warped. For second, number 1, Molfetta Drive. Good win last week. He led early, got tackled, and he came again late on the line. So I think he can improve. He's good record over the trip. 9 starts for a winner and 6 minors. For third, 7, Dandelion Opal. First up over 600 metres is going to be interesting, but ran that quick 29.83 in a heat of the Summer Maiden Classic there. And for fourth, I'll throw in 8, Sky Manelli, 4, 1, 7 and 8, race 10.
Race 11, no market up. Which way are you going here in the 380-metre chase?
I'll go 1, 6, 4, 5. I'll speculate with Fred Flint first up over the 380 metres. Had no luck in a free-for-all behind Lady Sharp, but before then was running some really hot times at Dapto. Broke 17 seconds in a final there and 17.01 in another heat. So he's going good guns at the moment. They're really competitive times over the short course. Should get the 380, no worries. I've got him on top. From number 6 in Speedy Willow, the obvious danger. Quick 21.72. Place getter last week behind Escape Way. Before then, finished second behind Sunset Cobra. Just keeps running into one better of late. Speedy Willow, interesting to see how she goes from the draw. It's not ideal being off the track over the 380. For third, number 4, Obsessed Much. A greyhound was a good second last week behind Sudden Rain. Has plenty of early speed. And for fourth, I'll throw in 5, Poster Zipper, who should be getting back but running on late. 1, 6, 4 and 5, race 11.
Number 6 on top, Speedy Willow for me, knocking on the door, placed at 5 of her last 6 outings. Good second last start from an inside draw and has won from this box in the past. So Speedy Willow on top. Number 4, Obsessed Much. A greyhound has also been knocking on the door for Tracy Hine and will be thereabouts at the end again. Number 5, Post the Zipper, and 1, Fred Flint. So 6, 4, 5 and 1 in race number 11 on the program. Has won from box number 1, Fred Flint, across on the East Coast. Was a Dapto winner going back 3 starts ago, back in November. And first up, a greyhound who got into all sorts of trouble, and there was good money for him as well. 6, 4, 5, 1 in race number 11. To race number 12 on the program, the last has the favourite. Tab Touch has the favourite with the Terry Erenshaw trained Imperial Sash. I'm tipping Terry to win the first and the last with Imperial Sash on top. Greyhound who's got a good record from wide draws, has won twice from box 7, has won from box number 8 in the past as well. And I'm going to put him on top. He's won his last 3, gets across here with his speed to be able to lead throughout. Number 7, Victory Road, is a greyhound who's got a lot of talent and has been missing the kick at his last 2, but prior to that put a couple of wins together in good time in easier company. 6, Sunset Comanche, has gone at 29.67, and number 4, Trevor's Gift, a greyhound who's been chasing consistently behind the likes of Bungee Man, a little bit warped recently. It's a good race to finish it off with. 8, 7, 6 and 4.
I'll go 8, 6, 7 and 4, 8 Imperial Sash on top. Last week, it's amazing what an effect a crowd can do on some of these young greyhounds, Pete. I was there on New Year's Eve. I handled the greyhound. They had a live DJ, and so they had a fair big crowd on the course. And walking to the box, you just see that the dog was a bit spooked by the crowd. So it's amazing what an effect something you'd think is not a factor with these races, but some of these greyhounds can get spooked by a larger crowd on course. Well, I've got him on top. It was a good run last week, even though the time was significantly slower than his last runs. But he wasn't on the job, I will say that, walking to the boxes. So I've got him on top. For second, 6, Sunset Comanche was a good winner of a novice 3 back in 29.89. For third, number 7 in Victory Road. And for fourth, 4, Trevor's Gift. 8, 6, 7 and 4 in the final event there, Pete.
All right, just repeating Shorty's best tonight. Race Saturday night. Race 5, number 1, Honestly 2. Race 7, number 8, Mayaniki Boy. Race 11, number 6, Speedy Willow. Shorty's best for Saturday night. Your best, please, Anna Quaddy.
I think race 4, number 6, Warm Regards, we can get a bit of value there. And race 11, number 1, Fred Flint, first up over the 380. For a quaddy, we'll go 1, 3, 8 the first leg, 4, 5, 7 the second leg, standout 8 in the third leg, and the final leg will go home with a field there. I think that's a very even 600-metre affair there, Pete.
All right, my quaddy on Saturday night, I think the open leg is race number 1, Honestly, 2 on top. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 8 in race number 5, Honestly 2, Wooden Hands, Dusty Deluxe and Hurricane Taylor into the second leg, and here we're going with 5 and 7, Columbus Manelli and also Bungee Man. The third leg, number 8, My Anarchy Boy, and in the final leg, I agree with you, it's a tough race, but I'm just narrowing it down to 2, 4 and 7. So 2, Acing Kuna, 4, Yamasaki Bale, and 7, Miss Ronnie Mack, the specials on the program. Make sure you're tuned in. Greyhound Gossip Monday morning, back after 9 o'clock. So we'll be going through our another year of looking at WA Greyhound racing, and it's an exciting time as we saw up in Queensland last night. And the WA Greyhound of the Year is only a few weeks away, coming up on the 4th of February. So that's at in Kings Park at Fraser's Restaurant, on who will be named the 2023 WA Greyhound of the Year. The Perth Cup's just around the corner. And
March, April sort of time. We've got the Shangroper as well in April. So the Chasing Carnival here in the West is about to kick off. Great to have Greyhound Gossip back to explain to some of our listeners the stories about these greyhounds as they continue their preparations for these big races.
And on Monday morning, David Hunter, the racing manager from Racing and Wagering WA, he'll be joining us as our lead guest on Monday morning, talking about what's been happening in greyhound racing throughout the state. And, of course, we've got the new track, which is settling in at Mandurah. And obviously there's some work to come through at Cannington later this year. And also we'll get an update on the how the straight track is going down in the Pinjarra area as well.
So will it be a total rebuild at Cannington or just a little refurbishment?
There's going to be some refurbishment, but we'll find out how long and what's going to be happening. David will join us on Monday morning. We will take a break. We'll hear from our valued sponsors into Race Day with Matt McDermott after this.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelpline.org.au.